Hello, Eric.
Hello.
All right, so let's go ahead and get math started because I'm not going to wait for the other two. All right, lesson 134. Did anybody have any difficulties with the one from yesterday? It was pretty easy to figure out. Figured out what everything was anyway. All right, it's multiplying and dividing integers. This part of this lesson will be one of the more important things that you will learn in your future in algebra, which of course you will be doing no matter where you go to school. And you will find that it's a very simple rule. Once you have it memorized, it makes it a lot easier. But until you have it memorized, you might kind of, well, you might just want to memorize it. That'll probably make it easier to do it that way.
Mr. Jones, what lesson is it?
Sorry?
Oh, never mind.
All right, so let's look at this then. All right, we're talking about multiplying and dividing integers. Integers, remember, is any positive or negative number, whole number, are integers. And so when we talk about, okay. Oh, I thought I had, here comes dialing in audio. Welcome, Andre. Still connecting to audio. There we go. All right, so Andre, we're on lesson 134. All right, so here's the deal. When you are multiplying and dividing, if you have an even number of negative numbers you're multiplying, bless you.
Thank you.
Oops, I messed up on that one. All right, so if you have an even number of negative numbers that you're multiplying, then the answer is positive. Right? Now, in this case, they're only doing two. So if you have one negative, then you're going to end up with a negative answer. If you have two negatives or no negatives, I guess you can count 0 as an even number. It's not really, but if you have no negatives, obviously it's positive. If you have two negatives, the answer is also going to be positive. So an even number of negative numbers. Okay, so if I was going to multiply -8 times 3 times 4 times -7 times 5 times -3, when I multiply all that out, I guess I should use dots in there really, but that's okay. So you get the idea. I have one negative number, two negative numbers, three negative numbers. That means my answer is going to be which one, positive or negative?
Negative.
It's going to be negative because it's an odd number. Whenever you have an odd number of negative numbers, the answer is going to be negative. And everything else is done the same way. You multiply exactly the same way. Okay? So, before I continue on, any questions about that?
No.
All right? So let's go ahead and clear that, and let's see how you guys do. All right, give me the answer. Andre, can you turn your camera on?
Sure.
Thank you. Ew, never mind. Turn it off. Turn it off. No, I'm just joking.
Oh, okay. Um,
Sorry, I couldn't breathe there for a second, so I had to make a weird face. Then what's your excuse the rest of the time, Mr. Jones? The rest of the time, it's just my normal face.
oh,
Who's on the bottom left?
Me.
Both of them are incorrect. Anyway, whoever's on the bottom left. I see a +9 and I see an 18. Both of those are incorrect. I don't know who's on the bottom right there. Is that you, Brianna?
No.
No, that's EC. Ella Chupakin. I mean, Eric Chupakin. That is incorrect, Eric Chupakin.
I didn't finish.
Oh. Gotcha. Go ahead. You're just actually working it out there. Okay. My bad. Ah, Katie decided to come.
Oh, wait.
Incorrect, Eric. Incorrect, Brianna. Is that yours?
No.
Oh, that's mine.
Oh, incorrect, Andre.
Mr. Jones, sorry if I'm late. It's because my brother was using my mom's computer and it died, and I had to let it charge a little bit or it would die in the middle of class.
That's fine. Are you not able to plug it in while you're doing class?
I am, but it just doesn't charge as well. It's like really slow and it dies. It doesn't charge. I don't know.
Older computer?
Not really. It's actually brand new. I don't know.
Oh.
Maybe it's the charger.
Maybe. So we're doing lesson 134.
Mm-hmm.
And the one thing I had written before is, of course, you'll see it when you go back and watch a video, I'm sure. But it said that if you have an even number of negative numbers that you're multiplying together, your answer will be positive. And I did a whole string of numbers. Incorrect, Juliana. And so I gave everybody a
Oh, wait.
problem here to do.
I might have got it.
Got it?
I might have.
Might have. Well, anybody might have. Brianna's still trying to figure it out, huh?
Never mind. Or maybe.
Negative 18 is incorrect.
I have no problem with these negatives. Oh.
Camera, Katie. Who's writing on the bottom right? No, that's not correct. Not sure how you got that, but you're not sure you could tell me how you got it either, could you?
Oh.
Do it piece by piece. Remember, PEMDAS, parentheses, which there are really nothing to solve in the parentheses of any of these. Exponents, exponents or roots. Multiplication, division. So that would be the first thing you do. multiplication here, and multiplication here. And then you do the subtraction afterward.
Jones?
Yeah. You got it.
Yes.
Figured it out now?
Yeah, I was just doing it left to right at first.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I noticed. I noticed what I was doing wrong.
Yep. So the problem wasn't the understanding of the negatives or anything like that. The problem was just not using PEMDAS.
Yeah, I looked at the math lesson because I didn't hear you teach it because I was not here yet.
Mr. John.
No. Oh, that's correct. You can just
I
write
was,
Andre's answer down.
I was adding 7 and 3.
Oh, yeah, that's multiplication. So this is 12 minus 21. Correct? Whoever wrote that negative 9 down there on the right?
I did positive 9. I don't know why I did that.
Oh. Well, you took the difference of the two, but you got to remember that the negative 21 is the higher number, and so so the answer is going to end up being negative. No, it wouldn't be 14. So you have 12 here, Katie. For this part, negative 4 times negative 3 is 12. It's positive because there are two negatives. It ends up being a positive number. And then you have 7 times 3, which is 21. So you have 12 minus 21, which is negative 9.
Oh.
So I'll do another one here really quickly and see if you guys, I think you guys could probably get it now that we've done this. Let's see here. All right, little complicated, not too bad though.
Oh. Is this a problem for us?
What?
Is this a problem for us?
It is.
Okay.
It's a problem for some people more than others. Andre, can you turn your camera on?
What?
Can you turn your camera on? Is there something that you don't want
I
us
don't
to
know why
see?
mine was turned off.
What's that?
I don't know why mine turned off.
Oh, I thought you did it accidentally. Maybe it was Katie's computer. It's causing problems for everybody. It's her Christmas lights that are still up. That's what it is. Are they smart lights? Like you can control them with Google?
No, I have LED lights and then Christmas lights.
Oh, they last forever then. Do them piece by piece. So you have 4 times negative 4, which is equal to what? Nope, that's not correct. Sorry.
Oh,
So 4 times negative 4 is what?
negative
16.
Negative 16 times negative 3.
is positive.
39.
Close. 39, 48, and they're not that far off from each other, right? Then multiply
Oh, I was on that track.
3 minus 5, which is,
Negative 2.
then you have positive 48 times negative 2.
Negative.
Oh, I had that answer, and
Wait, no, I was on that track.
There's no way it could be that answer. So you actually had it the right way?
I had it on my track, but I was like, no, that can't be right.
Why would you think it couldn't be right?
I don't know.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Why would you know it couldn't be right if you don't know? All right, I'll give you an easy one this time because the ones they give you in the book are actually pretty simple. And the ones for the practice, which I'm sure everybody does, even though I haven't gotten a card in 3 weeks from anybody. Of course, a little late now because there's no lessons to do. All right, so here we go. Give it to me. Who put negative 2?
Mr. Jones, what?
Who put negative 2?
I don't know.
I see Katie up top left. I see, who's bottom right? Incorrect, Katie. I think you need to work on your multiplication skills. Incorrect. I'll say it's Yuri. That way you don't see him so embarrassed. Who's on the bottom right? Oh, Brianna. Okay, so you're correct, Brianna. Katie, you're correct. And whoever's in black there is correct.
Mr. Jones on the
Hey,
bottom left.
Oh, now you got it correct after you see everybody else's answer.
No, I was doing the subtraction addition.
I know, I saw that. Yeah, that you don't need a dot in between. Whenever you have 2 parentheses, things next to each other in math, it's already automatically considered to be multiplication. In fact, in your practices, you'll see the same thing. So by the way, it works the same way for division. There we go. Got it. Okay. So it works the same way for division. So in division, if you, no matter what you have, if it's 12 divided by a negative 4, same thing. It's 1 negative sign, so your answer is going to be negative, but you still do the division the normal way. So 12 divided by 4 is 3. You've got 1 negative sign, so the answer is negative 3. And for any time you see just an odd number of negative signs in all the things you're doing, it's always going to be negative. If it's an even number of negative signs, it's always going to be positive. Okay? Any questions?
No.
Pretty simple.
Mhm.
Okay. Let's look at your language end, please. While I check out myself. I think we've forgot to check a page, didn't we? I feel like we skipped over page 230, 231. Did we ever go back and check that? I think we did go back and check that, didn't we? Or no? We never checked it? So yesterday's, though, was supposed to be
237 and 238.
right, including right B there. So number 5 through 9, and these are for points. All right. So show me what you got done. Let's start with Brianna. I can only do one at a time, so. Okay, next page. Awesomeness, Juliana. I can call you Juliana. Okay, next page, Juliana. Okay. Andre, your turn. Wait a minute. What happened? Get rid of this. Who left? Eric left. Oh, what horrible timing that he left. I'm sure it's not because he didn't have the work done.
Which one? 237 or 236?
237. We didn't assign 236 yesterday.
I know. I just thought you were.
237. Hold it closer, 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 closer. Too close. Okay, you can turn to the next page. Okay, you're good. And Katie? And if Eric ever comes back, which I don't know if he will or not. All right. That's two. All right, next page. Okie dokie. All right, good. So here we go. For number 5 on 237 on Think A, you should have by the police going somewhere in between, maybe after arrested, was arrested by the police. You can't say the crook by the police because he wouldn't be a crook by the police. But he was arrested by the police after the bank had been robbed. Your number 6 from our window should point back to either at the beginning of the sentence, from our window, we waved to the man cutting the lawn, or we waved from our window to the man cutting the lawn. On number 7, it should be by the president. The member was expelled by the president. You can't say the member by the president. Yeah, he texted, he said his power went out on his computer. Anyway, so then, so it should go after expelled for by the president. Number 8, on my birthday, it could be one of two places. You could say, on my birthday, my grandfather promised he would take me to the Naval Air Museum. So that's after or before the sentence, or you can put it at the end of the sentence. My grandfather promised he would take me to the Naval Air Museum on my birthday. And so that would work in either place. Number 9, in the sink, it shouldn't be in the sink at the beginning, because unless you are standing in the sink when you notice the water is running, which I guess is possible if it's a big sink, but that's probably not what's being intended here. It's, I noticed that the water was still running in the sink. I guess you could say, I noticed the water in the sink was still running. That would work as well. So we all good on those? All right, so let's hear your sentences for right B. Adverb phrase, Brianna, we'll start with you.
The man walked to the store in a blue suit. I
Okay.
circled in a blue suit and put it after man.
Yeah, you were supposed to actually write it correctly originally.
Oh,
Yeah. But thank you for fixing that. You actually made up a problem that they could use in the future. I'll send it to Becca, see if they'll include it in a future edition for the sentence that you wrote.
Brianna's a producer.
Yeah, she is. Here you go. All right. Miss Juliana, microphone, and go ahead and tell me your sentence. I know your sentence is you're doomed for life to have Yuri as your brother, but that's a different kind of sentence. But go ahead.
We were playing outside with our cousins.
Okay, so go ahead and what is it that modifies what?
With our cousins, we.
Okay, with our cousins. So we with our cousins. So with our cousins is modifying we.
Oh, playing.
Yeah, it should be playing. But you had one. It's an adverb phrase. That's good. Okay, Katie.
I was running quickly from my cat.
Okay, run. I was from the cat. Okay, so running from the cat. All right, got it. And Andre.
The man by the president was the one that assassinated him.
Okay, good. All right, all of you got it. So I think you guys have the idea down well. That's good. You don't have it down goodly. You have it down well. Then on think A. I think we did some of these together, didn't we? We did all those together. It was just the comparative of much and the comparative of well. And
Wait,
so,
I have a question.
what's that?
I have a
Going right.
question. Yeah, right, B.
Yeah,
Do we have to change the much into more?
you got it. Because it's asking you
Oh,
to do the
Okay,
comparative.
good thing
Yeah.
I did it right.
Yeah, you're supposed to do the comparative forms of both those. All right, so number one, Brianna, what do you got?
She ate more than her.
Okay, all right, good. And then what about for your other one, comparative of well?
He is doing better than him.
Very good. All right, both of those are correct. All right, Juliana? First one.
It felt much better today.
You're not supposed to use much. You're supposed to use the comparative of much. And
Yeah.
you, by the way, did not use it as an adverb. You used it as a, well, no, it might have been. Yes, you did use it as an adverb at least. But it's supposed to be the word more you're supposed to use. The second one should be the word better because you used the comparative form of that word. So am I assuming you didn't use better?
No, I saw.
Okay.
But I feel like it still makes sense with better.
Oh, go ahead then.
It was. Oh wait, no, it doesn't make sense.
Okay. Well, at least you know it doesn't make sense. That's important. All right, Katie, go ahead and give me your first one.
I like cake more than asparagus.
Okay. That's not hard, is it? That's not, it depends on how you feel about asparagus and whether or not that's a compliment to that person. All right, go ahead and the next one.
Are you feeling better?
But you're not, yeah, you're supposed to use it as a comparative and you're not really comparing anything. You're asking about how they're feeling as opposed to the comparison form of that. So that wouldn't be correct. You have to compare two things in it. All right, Andre, did you do yours already?
No.
Oh, go ahead.
She had more money than him,
Okay, good. And then two.
and he was better than him.
All right, good. All right, so you guys have that down pretty well. Sounds like for the scores. Did anybody miss anything on 237? All the sentences are good. So, all right. All right, how about on the sentences? Katie and Juliana didn't get the sentences correct, but you got all the other stuff, right? Okay, so. Yeah, oh, wait a minute. All right, got it. Let's look at the next part here. Page number 239, using adverbs correctly. So basically, this is the same stuff that you've actually talked about before in comparing, that you're not supposed to use, not use double negatives. That's the first thing. It says avoid the double comparison, never use ER and more together, or EST and most together. The most fastest, or he ran most fastest of anybody. No, you would say he was the fastest. He runs more faster than I do. He might. However, I do better at grammar than he does, apparently. And so that would be wrong to do it that way. All right, so you get that idea. For instance, the most hardest would not make sense, just hardest. And it says use the comparative degree when comparing two persons or things, which you guys already know. Three persons or things use a superlative degree. And it says in the last one, avoid the double negative. That is something that some people have difficulty with in avoiding the double negative. And so, oh, trying to come in twice. Okay. So in avoiding the double negative, you're basically leaving out, there are certain words that are negative words, of course, no, not, and apostrophe T. And so you know that those words are negative words. And so you wouldn't use that with another negative word. Nothing, hardly, scarcely. Scarcely is one that you may not recognize, but scarcely would be considered a negative word as well. So it gives you some examples. Incorrect. He doesn't like none of those shoes. All right. And we know it should be he doesn't like. Anybody would like to say that what it is?
Any.
Any would be correct. Yeah. He doesn't like any. So it's very similar to what we did before. Actually, did we do this year with you guys? It may be fifth grade I'm thinking about. You know? Anybody know? Does this sound familiar to you? I mean, it sounds familiar because you've had it before, at least last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does it make sense? Before Brianna falls asleep? Does it make sense? Everybody's good? Okay. All right. So it's on the second example there. We cannot hardly hear from the back row. It's we can hardly hear, or we cannot hear would be the two ways that you could fix that. But in any case, that is what you're doing. So on that, on Think A, make sure you do those. Look at page 240. Trying to see how far we are here. So page 240 on Think B, it says the following sentences contain errors in the use of adverbs. And it says cross out any incorrect word and make any corrections where necessary. Let's do the first one. The shoreline wasn't hardly visible through the fog. What possible ways can you fix that sentence? What is the problem with that sentence? Can anybody tell me?
Huh?
What's the problem with that sentence? Aside from
Wasn't,
not looking at it.
The
What do you
was,
think?
wasn't.
like the wasn't.
Well, no, maybe what is the actual wrong thing with the sentence? Not in that particular sentence, but what rule are they breaking?
Oh,
That we just went over on the previous page of the three rules there.
Wait, which sentence again?
We're on number one on Think B on 240.
Oh, I wasn't thinking.
To avoid the double negative?
Yeah, it's a double negative, and the double negative is the N apostrophe T and the word hardly. So there are actually two ways to fix it. So go ahead and tell me one, Juliana.
the shoreline was hardly visible.
Yeah, you take out the N apostrophe T, and then what else? What else could you possibly do? So you could say the shoreline was hardly visible through the fog, or you could say the shoreline
Wasn't visible.
very good. You take the hardly out. Exactly. It would be wasn't visible. So that's kind of what you're doing on that. And then the second one, this is a different thing. So Eric, how about number 2? If you look there, it says, which of the 2 pair of shoes do you like best? What's wrong with that sentence? Microphone.
I'm confused. I was like, is it pairs of shoes?
No, 2 pairs of shoes is fine. It's something to do with the word at the end, actually.
Oh, it should be better because they're comparing two things, not one.
Correct. That's right. It should be better instead of best. All right, moving along here. Number 3, Mr. Andre. Andre. He's like, there's nothing wrong with that
Nothing.
sentence.
Nothing's wrong, and you should put anything there.
Say that again.
Nothing is wrong, and you should put anything.
No, there is something wrong.
I said nothing.
Yeah, I know. That's what I just said. I'm not sure what you mean.
You
So
don't worry.
tell me
The
how
nothing.
tell me how the sentence could read.
I couldn't do anything but tell the truth.
Okay, and then what other fix could you do, Katie, on that one? He said I couldn't do anything but tell the truth. What is the other fix for number 3?
I could do nothing but tell the truth.
You said I could do nothing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's correct. Okay, good. So you guys had that down. Good. Here's the reason why. Because number 4 or number 3 through 12 is a quiz for you.
We
Bless
just did 3.
Yeah, I know. I gave you 10 points automatically. Look at that.
Yay.
Okay. Now, if you want to rewrite the sentence, that's fine. Or you can just cross out something if it can get crossed out, or you can, and then change it right above it. You don't need to rewrite the sentence completely, though. All right. In fact, it tells you at the top just to cross out any incorrect words and make corrections where necessary. So for that part is going to be a quiz. All right. And then on the bottom part, think C. It says use think B to answer the following questions. Well, since we did 1, 2, and 3, let's go ahead and do those 3. What is the first adverb in sentence 1, Brianna?
Hardly.
That is hardly correct. So no, it is not correct.
Not.
The N apostrophe T, very good. It's the N apostrophe T is actually the first part, because you see the N apostrophe T there and wasn't. That's for the hardly. How many negatives are in sentence 3? Katie.
2.
What's that?
2.
Yes, there are 2. In sentence 3, you have the N apostrophe T and nothing. All right. How about Andre for number 4? How many negatives are in sentence? Oh, you can't do that one, I guess. Not yet, anyway. Oh, and so anyway, when you guys do figure out what the answer is, at the bottom, you see where it says answer? And it's asking you to answer the riddle, what do you call an ant's forefathers? How come he has 4 fathers? I don't get it. I thought he only had 1 father.
Because he has an uncle and a grandpa.
Well, that's correct. That's what forefathers are people that you were related to down the line. So. All right, and then page 241.
Bro,
Fun,
let's go,
fun.
God, man.
Fun. Oh, that's. Don't worry, we got more. This is the first part of the recall. Now, the very top part is not going to be counted for points. Okay, but the bottom part will. And all you're doing is identifying what part of speech that word is that's underlined. It's kind of the same thing as what they're doing on top, actually. But on top, it's more detailed. And so instead of having you go through all the little things on top, I figured it'd be easier just to give you the point ones on the bottom. But let's go through the top one then. All right. So it says, draw parentheses around each prepositional phrase in the following sentences. Look, there are 5 sentences. I'll give 1 to each of you. Brianna, Juliana, so 1, 2, 3 for Katie, 4 for Andre, and 5 for Eric. So put parentheses around prepositional phrases. Your sentence.
So for now, we just put the parentheses around,
but-
or do we?
Yeah, I just want you to do the first thing first, parentheses, because I want to make sure everybody gets them, because some of them have more than one. All right, so is everybody ready?
Yeah.
Eric, are you ready? Can you leave your microphone on? That way I can hear from you right away. Okay, so for number 1, what did you get, Brianna? And everybody else can do these as they're telling them.
In the lake, in
Okay,
the
in-
Canadian,
Okay,
and of Lake Huron.
correct. So in a lake, in the Canadian section, and then of Lake Huron. All right, so those are the 3 there. How about number 2, Miss Juliana?
41.09 miles and on it.
Correct. So of 41.09 square miles and on it are your 2. Okay, Katie, number 3.
On an island and in a lake.
Okay, on an island and in a lake. Very good. All right, and Andre, number 4.
Within a lake, in that lake, and of islands.
Correct. Within a lake, in that lake, and of islands. All right, Eric, on the last one.
Picture of.
Say it again.
Picture of.
Picture is not a preposition. Turn over about 3 pages over to 247. And there's your list of prepositions right there. So what do you got?
Of.
Of what?
I don't know.
You don't know. Well, what are the words after it?
Manitoulin Island.
Is that where it ends?
Manitou Lake.
Yeah, so it's of Manitoulin Island and Manitou Lake. That's all one prepositional phrase. So. All right, so that's your one. All right, now for those prepositional phrases that you guys have, you have to decide and put ADJ if it's an adjective over top of it, and ADV if it's an adverb. All right, about ready? Eric had it easy, he only had one. All right, go ahead, Brianna. So for the first one, in the lake, what did you come up with? Adjective or adverb?
Adverb.
What is it modifying?
Island.
An island is what kind of a part of speech?
A subject.
So that makes it a noun,
noun.
right?
Yeah. I know.
Okay, so what should in a lake be then?
An adjective.
Yeah, it should be an adjective. Okay, and then in the Canadian section,
An adverb.
what's it modifying?
Island.
What is island again?
A subject.
Well, it's not a subject,
Noun.
okay? A noun.
Just an
and-
adjective.
Got it. All right. What about of Lake Huron?
An adjective. An
Got it.
adverb. Yeah.
It is an adjective modifying again island. So, all right. Juliana, for number 2, For the first one, of 41.09 square miles, what is that part of speech?
Adjective.
An adjective, what's it modifying, just out of curiosity?
The lake.
Yeah, it's modifying lake. So lake is a noun. Remember, just for your help there, Brianna, remember most of the time, almost all the time, the adjective comes right after the noun. And so that if it's modifying that, you know, then it's going to be an adjective. Then on it, what about on it?
Adverb.
That one is an adverb. That's correct. What's it modifying?
It's modifying. I don't know.
It's modifying the word has, the verb, because it's on it. It's saying where is it on it? Or where does it have it? It's on it. And so where is it located? Where is it? It's on it. All right. So number 3, Miss Katie, on an island. Which one is that modifying, or what is it? What is it? Part of speech.
Adjective.
Okay, modifying which word?
Lake.
Okay, very good. And then what about the second part, in a lake?
It's modifying island. It's an adjective.
Very good. It is. That is exactly what it's doing. All right. And then the next guy over there, hey, Andre, you. Yes, you. Okay, go ahead for number 4. So within a lake,
Adjective.
adjective modifying.
Lake.
Okay. And then how about in that lake?
Let's say adjective.
What do we be modifying if it's an adjective?
Lake.
Which lake? The lake within it?
No.
It's not an adjective. It's an actual adverb.
Oh.
It's modifying the verb are.
Oh.
In that lake are. And so it's answering the question, where are? And then Eric, for the very last one, of Manitoulin Island and Manitou Lake. What is that? Part of
Adverb.
speech? What is it modifying if it's an adverb?
Island. I mean, yeah. Actually, adjective.
It's an adjective, but it's not modifying island, by the way, because the whole island is in it. Of Manitou Island and Manitou Lake is the prepositional phrase. The whole thing can't modify itself. So what would it be modifying? You are correct, it's an adjective, but it's not modifying lake. What is it modifying?
Island.
Okay, I just explained to you that it can't modify island because that's actually part of the prepositional phrase. It can't modify itself. It has to be a different noun that it's modifying, since it's an adjective.
Picture.
Noun or pronoun?
Wait, noun or pronoun? Noun.
So what is of Manitou Island and Manitou Lake modifying?
Picture.
Yeah, it's modifying picture. It's saying it's answering which picture. That's what it's answering. Oh, Andre left. Okay. All right. For number 1, then back to Brianna. The next part says underline each verb 2 times. We can do 3 and 4 together. What are your subjects and verb in number 1?
Island is.
Correct. Island is. How about number 2? Well, we'll go back see if Andre comes back. How about number 3? Or no, I guess you're number 2, right, Juliana?
Yeah.
Okay, so what's your subject and verb there?
Island has.
Very good. And then number 4, Katie? No, you're number 3, right? Microphone.
Yeah, number 3.
Go ahead and do your subject and verb there.
Lake and is.
Very good. Okay. How about number 5, Eric? And microphone.
Wait, are we supposed?
Subject and verb. Subject and verb for number 5.
You show.
Close. You're missing part of the verb because it's a helping verb there.
Can you show?
No. You is the subject. And the verb phrase is?
Show me.
Really? So how do you me something?
No.
Okay. You don't know your helping verbs, do you?
No.
I can tell. It's can show is your verb phrase. Can show. Helping verbs. It's good to know those. It really helps a lot so that you don't miss those parts of the verb phrases. All right, and the very last thing is label each complement, and I'll tell you every sentence has one. Each complement by writing D-O, I-O, P-N, or P-A above it. So number 1, what you got there, Miss Brianna? First of all, what kind of verb do you have?
A linking verb.
Okay. So what is the subject again?
Island.
And so what word would describe that or basically rename that island?
Manitoulin.
Yeah,
Manitoulin Island.
Manitoulin Island would be the predicate what?
Predicate adjective.
Is it describing the subject?
No, nominative. Predicate nominative.
Very good. Okay. Number 2, Juliana, you knew I was going to call on you. I saw that look in your eyes. Okay. So what, now this is not a trick question, but it's a tricky question. What kind of verb is has?
Linking.
No, it's not.
Action.
It is. It's like having something, like you're holding something. It has, it owns. And so that's why it can be a tricky one. But has is not a linking, it can't be a verb by itself anyway, can it? Because has is a, has to have, that has is a helping verb. So it has to have another verb with it if it was going to be any part of a linking verb. So that one is a action verb. So if it's an action verb, what can you have then as a complement? Anybody know? You have an action verb, what kind of a complement can you have? There are two.
D-O or
Yeah.
I-O.
D-O or I-O. So what is receiving the action of having or being had? Island has what?
Island has a lake.
Very good. So lake is what?
Direct.
The word, Mr. Jones. Lake is a word. It's a big body of water. What is lake as far as a one of your complements, though? What are the 2 possible complements with an action verb that Brianna just mentioned?
Direct object or indirect object.
Okay, so which one would that be?
Direct object.
Very good. Okay. Katie, number 3. You have your subject verb lake is, there's only one thing it can be.
Unusual.
All right. And so what would that be? Predicate adjective or predicate nominative? Does it rename the lake or does it describe the lake?
It describes it.
Okay. So it'd be a predicate adjective. And then last but not least, Eric, well, number 5.
Picture is a direct object and it is an indirect object.
You know, you're so good at those. You really are. I notice on the test, you get those every single time, or at least most of the time you do. You must have been listening very carefully that day, or just something hit you very well with it. All right. So that's all I have. So listen, today, tomorrow is our last math lesson, 135. Next week, you're going to get just basically a packet of tests one math test or two math tests. You'll get one that's test 26, that's the next one. But then you'll get 27 that you can actually do open book, and you can have it replace one of your tests, your lowest grade test from before. I'll just put that new grade in for it. So it's open book to do that. You don't have to do 27, but I would suggest you do if your grade is a little bit struggling. Also, we will do language tomorrow, and depending on how quickly we move through things, we'll probably have to do it Monday also, but then you'll be taking that last language test and also that quiz, language quiz 15. Let me look real quick. I think quiz 15 is on preposition use. Since we have covered preposition, I'll let you do quiz 15 as an open book quiz. And open book, and it would replace one of your old quizzes as well. Okay? And so quiz 15, although I do want you to do quiz 15, but then test 9, which is your test, will be assigned to you for next week on Tuesday. And tomorrow we'll cover lesson tomorrow. We'll cover lesson on Monday, and then I'll give you what you need to know for the test that you can take Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday before you hand stuff back in on Friday. All right, any questions? Nope. All right. Well, that's all I have, and so we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye. Have a good day.